Hey everyone, this is James and it is March 8th. It's about 6:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is my 4-hour chart of Bitcoin. This is BTC USDT on the Binance exchange if you want to follow along with the numbers. First of all, this is not investment advice. I just have to get that disclaimer out there. Essentially where we're at, if you're a new viewer, just real quick, a nice recap. It's good to know where you came from. You can see the downtrend we were in. We've busted that downtrend and continued outside of it. So also another thing I want to point out too is that when you cut this down the middle, this chart right here, like right through this area, you can see that to the left hand side, that price was very erratic. There was a lot of volatility. The market is very hot. There's a lot of traders going back and forth in this area, a lot of energy being expended and recaptured. And then as we move over to the right, we can obviously see how smooth there's a lot of smoothing out in the price action, which means the price isn't as volatile. Yes, there's some crazy bars that do form, but when you go back to the left-hand side, it makes everything in this area look like nothing. So we're smoothing out here. This could be the normalization of a market. As that does occur, the wild swings are not going to be there. So I know there's a lot of people out there that are talking about, 25,000, 50,000, 100,000, 1 million. If those figures ever happen, they're going to be in the far distant future. Okay, they're not going to be tomorrow, next month, or next year. This is something that's going to have to work its way out. Could we potentially get back to the 20,000, 25,000 range by year end into early next year? Yeah, possibly. That's a completely possible scenario as long as we continue to stay bullish in Bitcoin. Now, what's happened is that we broke the overall downtrend right here. Okay. So you can see the negative slope, the negative frequency that price is reacting to, just very, very basic measurements. A very, very basic visual presentation. Now, what we've done is we broke a former uptrend, and that's that blue line you see here. So I know there's a lot of lines. I'm going to explain everything. This blue line is the former uptrend. You can see how we broke it with conviction if you did not see yesterday's video. There may be a retest or a slight pop through, and I'm expecting another rollover. The reason why is because this was a significant uptrend, that blue line, and we broke that significantly. We just broke right through it and didn't even bother to come back and touch it. We just left and ran. So that's a huge negative sign. Now, there's a couple positives here. We did not break the 9,300 level. We turned right on a dime there, okay? And when we zoom into the 4-hour bars, right, I'm not trying to put the nail in the coffin on Bitcoin, and I'm going to say as objective as possible. We've had a reversal on the 4-hour chart. You can see that. You can see as we're stair-stepping up the green frequency, that's a positive indication that there could potentially be some more upside for Bitcoin. Now, to get to the numbers real quick, what we have to break is we would have to smash through about the 10,800 to 10,900 level, depending on where we hit on this chart. As we move into time and space, anything could happen. The farther we move into time and space, the lower that cap is going to be. So that cap could be as low as 10,600. It just depends on what happens on this chart. This is why I do the daily videos. I do multiple day videos for Bitcoin. But anyways, if we do break that zone, that is the red wall that Bitcoin is facing right now to the negative downtrend. I do not have high hopes that that is going to be broken. What I believe this is a false rally to sucker early bulls in, and then the whales will basically just dump into them, or whoever's in this area looking to exit is going to leave their position to the eager bulls, and they're going to unfortunately have to suffer one more drawdown that I think is going to go deeper than the 9,400 area where we hit. I think we could easily break the 9,300 level and possibly head into the 8s, mid to high 8s, depending on how fast we fall into time and space. The only reason why I think that happens is typically in most markets, you get the false rally that creates the false hope. Look at this real quick. Here's some history right here. Boom, and then boom. One more downward movement, it blows out this, it gets everybody confused, everybody off balance, everybody extremely bearish, everybody gets very, very, very bearish here, and then it's immediate, and then you can obviously see what happens as price goes the opposite way. So right now, everybody's buying the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. You're gonna get rich quick. You're gonna get rich quick. And as it comes up here and rolls over, and they're gonna say, "Oh no, I'm wrong, I'm wrong, I'm wrong," and they're gonna sell, and that's going to exacerbate the move significantly to the downside. I could show you real quick. Let me pop up a gold chart, and then that way I can kind of show you here. Let's see. I figured GC would pop it up. All right, so this is kind of what I'm talking about. Gold is now moving downward, so we had a very similar scenario. Okay, I'm shorting gold right now. I was actually 2 days ago now, but anyway, so price has come down, right? It made its higher low. We have a shorter reaction, very similar to Bitcoin, very similar, right? We've had our price drop to a final point, and we've had a rally. Now, I knew this was a sucker's rally, so this is where I got short on gold, right at the top, very close to it, here and then here. So as this occurred, I can see already what's happening, and what I'm expecting gold to do is actually break below the 1300 level, and as it does that, it should go into the mid 12s. But anyways, that's just a visual representation of exactly kind of what I'm seeing in Bitcoin. So again, we had our high, we had our retest of the high, a failure, that's a negative sign right here, and then a comeback. This is another failure, this is another soft shoulder, and we're going to head down and then below these bottoms out right here, and then move significantly lower in gold to those levels, and it's going to cause a lot of pain for people, because I can tell you in the comment section, when I go to like the sites that track gold, like investing.com and etc., a lot of people were very bullish here. Everybody thought it's going to the moon. Everyone's like, don't worry, it's going higher, it's going higher. And that's the exact sentiment you want to see. And that's exactly when you know all the guppies have flooded into the trade, and the whales are just going to come back through and just literally swallow them right up. This is it's like a Pac-Man whale, or I don't know what that is. Don't even pay attention to that. Anyways, let me pull back up the Bitcoin chart, so then that way everybody can see. But essentially, the markets are very similar. It doesn't matter whether it's gold, Bitcoin, or anything else. Okay, all that matters is there's price action. If there's price action between buyers and sellers, that's all that matters. Okay, it does not matter what the underlying asset is. It does not matter. Typically, most price action already has news and everything else accounted for. Okay, so I don't follow the news. I don't follow the what is it, like lagging indicators, volume, or etc. Okay, I know there was some big news, some heavy bombs dropped on Bitcoin yesterday, but I said in my prior video to yesterday, the March 6th video, if that trend line was broken, the blue trend line, it was going to be brutal, and it was. Okay, now obviously the media is going to attach the news to it, and the news could have very well been a reason why, but chances are anybody that knew about the news, right? Any whales that knew about the news, anybody who had any significant amount of money, chances are they already knew about the news before it broke to headlines. Okay, there's a high probability they already knew about the news. Okay, it's not a conspiracy, it's just the way the world works. Okay, when you got money, you got connections. When you got connections, you know things ahead of time of people, and believe me, if you just looked up insider trading, you would see how frequent insider trading occurs in the stock market, and there's no difference from the stock market to the unregulated wild west of the cryptocurrency market. Okay, do not fool yourself into thinking that everybody in here is a stand-up person and they're playing the exact same rule set you are. All right, because you will get destroyed thinking that. Okay, anybody who knew about the news has already exited the position if they wanted to. Okay, now this is going to be the false guppy rally that's going to suck a lot of people in, and it's going to wreck some people as we move lower. Okay, the only thing that's going to negate that analysis is if we break this red trend line, and we're not going to do that at least for about a day and a half, unless we get some wild bars to the upside. Once that occurs, that obviously changes the tone. That obviously says that, hey, Bitcoin is not going to head lower. We are now going to head higher. If we do that, I can tell you we will blow out the 11,786 high of here. And we will go significantly higher to the mid 12,000 range like I've been calling for. All right, so Basically, where I would see price go is it's going to run out of energy at roughly about 10,800, 10,900, depending on how fast we move. As we run out of energy, we should curl back over. If we are going to break the line, we should do so like this, actually just a little bit less than that, something like this. As we break that line, there will more than likely be a retest and then a move upward. The first resistance zone is probably around 11,500 after that, and then we'll move into the mid 12,000 range, because I know we'll blow the top out because we've recuperated, we recaptured enough energy from these runs that we've had here. So the downside, though, is if we get rejected and everybody who entered in and chased this rally becomes guppy food or whale food, then it's going to drop significantly. We will take out the 9,300 bottom, and we will move into the 8,000s. Okay, there's no doubt about it, and it's not the end of the market if you watch my video. Okay, it's not I'm calling for Bitcoin to go to zero or anything. The retracement of this move is not significant at all. It's a normal retracement, and I've shown with Fibonacci numbers. I don't use them this way, but anyways, the Fibonacci 50% retracement, which is normal, is 8,891. It puts you right at this green line right here. That is nothing significant if you've been trading for a while. Okay, typically a 618 move is normal, and a 618 move puts us about 8,200. Okay, but look at the overall picture. You still have a higher low. Okay, and we are recapturing a lot of energy expended right here. Okay, there's a nice run here. We recapture some of it. Price goes to go, and then obviously the sellers are in control of this market. Boom, we get hit again. Imagine the next run, sellers are still in control of the market. Boom, we get hit again, and this is where the buyers should enter into this market to take price higher, and you can kind of see that right here on this nice little V bottom in this area. We obviously have the 6,000 V bottom, but I am doubting a move to this area at all. So where I'm staying is right around 8.8, maybe. I'm going with 8.8. We'll see what happens as price enters there. If we bust through that zone, we're going to 8,200. From 8,200, that is where I do think that we could put a final bottom somewhere close to that. This is not investment advice, okay? All right, anybody who's going to invest in anything, you have to have a trading strategy. You have to understand price structure, or at least have an analysis that works for you, and you must set stop losses to mitigate your risk, because I promise you, especially in the cryptocurrency market, you will get destroyed very, very quickly. So that is both sides of the trade, okay? I laid everything out. I'm trying to be as objective as possible. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. I want to see how price pans out. And then we'll go from there. So my next video is in the evening. It's going to be around maybe 6:30 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless something major happens. Like if we blow out this line, then obviously something major is going to happen, and then we'll have to go from that point. But I am anticipating a small run to another rollover to build the downward price structure to project price into the future from there. So that's it. If you do like the video, you have any comments or questions, just ask. If you enjoy the video, please give it a like. Also subscribe. All right, that helps me immensely, especially on the social media like YouTube and etc. That everything is dictated by the likes, by the follows, by the subscriptions. I also have a DTube account too. So anyways, that's it for today. I really enjoy your time. I do have like a trial period in my on my Slack channel. Basically, we just talk about cryptocurrency and trading. So I do have like a little trial that is showing my trades. One thing I can disclose to everybody, it's already too late to enter into this, but I can tell you where I entered into my trade. I entered into my trade right here at this level, and I'm anticipating the move up here. All right, me disclosing that does not mean that you need to jump into this trade here, because you are way beyond where I entered into the market. All right, you're already almost 500 bucks higher than where I entered into, and I can tell you that if you enter into this and this thing turns sideways, there's a lot of pain and suffering from that $500. So, and there's no guarantee that price is even going to make it here at all. And if you're an investor, you're a trader, you know there's no guarantee. So that's why I say firmly, this is not investment advice. And because I entered into a position down here does not mean you need to follow me whatsoever, because I promise you, you're way higher in the entry than I am, and you could get destroyed horribly in your portfolio, and I do not want to see that happen to anybody, okay? So the only reason I disclose that is because I do have like a little trial that I showed people the trade last night. It was late last night, almost about 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's where I entered. I had to wait for that entry, and then from there, I set my stop losses in, and I'm going to see how price runs. But this is not a guaranteed trade. There are no guaranteed trades. If anybody ever tells you there's a guaranteed trade, you better run the other way, okay? I'm not trying to drag the video out, but I promise you there are no guarantees in this market. And if you do not have a trading strategy, you do not have stop losses set, you will destroy yourself, and it will be extremely painful, because when you lose your hard-earned money, right, the emotions run high, and people do crazy things when they lose their money. So you just have to mitigate your risk, okay? The only reason I put that out there is because I was talking about my trial, and that's it. If you're interested, you could always just comment and let me know. All right, I'm not here to blast sales down anybody's throat, but that's it. I hope everybody has a great day, and I will talk to everybody later.